Hey, you know what's crazy to me is it was a lot of broke people that was, fussing and fighting for Trump. People who first generation American fussing and fighting for Trump. Yeah, Trump the best option. Trump the best option. Now listen, I ain't like neither one of them. So I vote for Jesus Christ. But them people have arrested 1,200 people. I'm listening to the interviews. This ain't no fake news. I'm listening to the real news. Lady was crying. Her father, who had a battery charge back in the day, he done been here over 10 years. Permanent resident. Got arrested. People, they father, grandfather, that got arrested, getting shipped out. Over 1,200. People have been here for decade plus. But it's some of these same people that voted for Trump. Some of these same people. That's why I'm trying to tell you. Listen, these people don't care about you personally. I have a lot of clients who work for the government. They told me they got an email telling them you can resign. You can resign. And you can resign, but if you don't resign, your job ain't guaranteed. Then, guess what? Got family members, friends of family, who getting funding. So there's this type of funding where you can, like, if you live in a low-income neighborhood, there's programs, there's companies that they come, and because you can't afford, like, to fix your roof and to refurbish your house, it's like a development. And so they come and they'll knock your house flat to the ground and rebuild it if it needs it, or they'll redo your roof, they'll redo your kitchen, they'll redo your bathroom, like new bathroom, new kitchen, new roof, new floors, new paint. Guess what? Trump just halted the funding. So the poor, the people under the poverty line who are being helped to keep their neighborhoods up to standard, up to code, the funding has just been halted. So, and some of these people just getting ready to move to because what the programs do, they put you in a hotel. They was just getting ready to get put in a hotel. Companies coming back to the people, can't do it. I know some of these people personally now, so this ain't no fake news now. And see, that's what you have to realize too, of that stuff right there. It rain on the just as well as the unjust. There's so many people with so much air in their chest. I seen black men, I seen Hispanic men, I seen people who J.O.B. just over broke. I mean, they was dying on the hill for Trump. And now it's your family. It's your family, your friends that's getting deported. It's your family, your friends can't get the funding that they need. Because it's going to be a lot of this stuff is like, a lot of this funding is grants. Like, it's going to help the elderly. Like, a lot of these houses for the elderly, like senior citizens, is the ones who benefiting from these programs. Now, they got to stay in that mold, asbestos, whatever it may be, termites, whatever it may be. And see, that's the thing. But none of that stuff, let me tell you who it don't affect. It don't affect Caucasian. Guess what? There's not a single Caucasian getting deported. It don't affect the white. It don't affect the funding and all of that that's being cut. It don't affect the upper middle class. Don't affect the middle class. Don't affect the upper class. Like, I'm Black American, so it don't affect me. But now what it does, it affects people I know who get certain funding from certain grants and certain programs to help them. It affect them. If my nonprofit was getting a federal grant to help the youth or to do certain things or to help pay their rent, that funding will be cut right now. That funding will be cut. Imagine getting that email. You work for the government. You like, man, I got a good job. I'm vested. Well, got pension, 401k. Woo, I'm doing good. And then you get an email. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Go on, quit your job. You can quit your job, or you can stay on your job. But after September 30th, your job is no longer guaranteed. You finna get let go regardless. And what they telling me is that they're not getting a buyout. They're not getting a severance. They say that's what the news is saying. But they say they weren't offered no buyout. So, this the thing now. So you got to realize, so yeah, they talking about cutting back all this funding. That's going to hit families. That's going to hit households. And then those very households, now you work for the government. If you leave your job or you get let go from your job, now you need some of that other funding that's being cut. And some of it's still going to be flowing or what have you, but that's right there what you got to think about. So this thing getting real. And I know, because think about it. It's Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans who are naturalized citizens who voted for Trump. But now some of their extended family, like not even extended family, some of their uncles, some of their cousins, some of their brothers, some of their sisters being deported. That's right there. If you gonna get in that game, you gonna get in that politic game, and you gonna be doing all that voting, you got to think that thing all the way through. You can't get caught up in just hearing a couple of words, and then it's some of these men that's naturalized citizens. They just didn't want to vote for Harris because she a woman, and now their brother getting deported. Now their son getting deported. Now their cousin getting deported. Now they sitting over there looking. Sick? Huh? What do you mean? No, that's my brother. Yeah. You had all that air in your chest. I'm not finna be led by no woman. Woman can't tell me nothing. Well, guess what the man telling you? Hasta la vista, baby. Bye. Here. Yeah, there go. Now that's what the man telling you. So that thing cut both ways now. So that's why I don't get caught up in that stuff, man. I serve the Lord and let come what may. Man, if they find out Tony, you ain't no citizen, and I get deported back to Nigeria, man, I'm going over there eating that jollof rice, finna live my life, man. Got to do what I got to do. I don't get caught up in it. I serve the Lord, and so that's why I want to tell you, because some of y'all, it's going to affect you directly. But you got to stay in prayer, pray for strength, pray for courage, pray for peace, and always look for the good in the situation. Always look for the positive. What can you learn from it? How can you grow from it? What can you make of it? Like, don't ever get kicked down and stay down. Like, make something out of nothing. Like, make something happen. You get sent home. One of your family members gets sent home. Go home. Set up a non-government organization and then build a bridge between the two of y'all. You raise money over here, got the foundation over here in America that send back clothes and food and all of this right there to your family home country. Like, always find a way. I see a lot of people, they drop their head, they cry, they go into depression. No. What can you do in the valley? What can you do in the wilderness? Like, what can happen? Dig a hole, find a well, find a river. Like, make something happen. Plant a seed, start a garden, make something happen. I ain't talking just literal, I'm talking metaphorical. Like, make something happen. It's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be tough. It's always gonna be hard. But gotta make something happen. Gotta find a way. So for me, and it's the thing now, think about it. See, a lot of people don't understand about the racism. So it's a lot of people that was so happy voting for Trump. But what you got to realize, think about this now. If who get the most help from these funds, it's not white America. The most help from these funds that's getting cut is black America. It's black America, and it's Hispanic America, it's naturalized citizens. That's who get the most help from these funds. So when these funds get cut, and then who getting deported? Not white Americans. They not getting deported. And so what's happening is they looking and they saying, hey, our stuff is changing. Like, stuff is changing. Like, who the highest paid baseball player? It's no longer a white guy. Highest paid football player. It's not a white guy. Highest paid basketball player. Not a white guy. So they're like, okay, the Asian highest paid baseball player. Highest paid football player, most likely a black guy. Highest paid basketball player, most likely a black guy. Now, highest paid entertainers. You know, lot white, Asian, foreign. You know, Adele from another country. So there's a segment of people who are racist, and they looking and they passing these laws, like they pushing the president, say, hey, get rid of these colors, man. Cut off the funds for these colored people. Like, hey, get rid of this DEI, man. All these black businesses, like, I can't even shop in peace no more in Target. I'm walking through Target and I'm seeing a bunch of black women and black men products. Man, look, this too much, man. Like, we building them up too high. Like, we doing too much for them. Like, I'm in the makeup section for my wife. This is what Bill's saying. I'm in the makeup section for my wife, and here it is. Here you have this transvestite. Because of DEI. You got this transvestite selling makeup. Can't even get my wife a white Anglo-Saxon heterosexual makeup brand anymore. Got to get her the lightest shade of the black woman's brand, or I got to get her the shade of the transvestite's brand. So guess what? He talking to his homeboy Trump. Hey, man, get the DEI up out of here. So guess what? You might be a DEI hire, and you don't even know it, because you got hired on your new job, because you of color, or you a woman, and they put you in that position. They check the box. DEI, they got a quota. You got to have 10%, 20%, whatever it may be. You don't know what the quota is of DEI. Now they removing that, so now you might get that pink slip, because they maybe been tolerating you and tolerating your attitude because you DEI, tolerating your ideas, but they want that job for their niece, who is Anglo-Saxon. I don't know what Anglo-Saxon means. Who is whatever race. They want that job for their niece. Here go your pink slip. That's why I be trying to tell you. That's why I've been telling y'all this whole time. Don't get complacent on these people's job. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to help them build theirs. You, outside of your job, you got to be building your dream. You got to be creating something that you cannot be fired from. See, this the thing. Like, I do shout outs for my students and my clients for $500. People at my brand size, they do shout outs for $5,000. I sometimes do shout outs for $250. Not all the shout outs gonna sell equally, because not everybody want every product. But it's like my wife, she released her socks. I released her socks. She sent me a picture. I put it on my Etsy. Blessed Thrift, Tony Shop, to release them. Boom. You know, them socks, you're producing them socks, t-shirt, hoodie. You put that on your Facebook. You come to, if you're a client of mine, a student of mine, or you're a business coaching, then I promote it for free. If you're just a client or a student, then I run different little specials where I promote to help people just get some eyeballs on their stuff. Can't promise you sales, because I don't know if people gonna like your product, but you got eyeballs. Thousands of people gonna see your product. So you get it out there, boom, screenshot it, put it on your Facebook. Now your friends who be hating and jealous, when they see that I posted it, they're like, oh, what the world? They don't know that you paid for it. They don't know you doing paid marketing. Tony Gasson posted her t-shirt, posted her whatever, posted her. Man, let me buy this and see what it. Guess what? Now you're making money from your haters, from your spectators. That's marketing. Now you keep doing this, you eventually build a sustainable income. You might go to making $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month. You keep rolling out different products. So now, but if you work in a job, you could be a DEI hire, and in the next 12 months be finna lose your job, but you don't know it. But because you've been making money on the side and you putting that in your savings, if you happen to get let go, you got a cushion. You got this cushion because you built something on the side that you can't be fired from. So this is how you always have to be thinking about being recession-proof. You always got to be thinking about being politician-proof, government-proof. You always have to create. A lot of times people look at me and be like, man, Tony all over the place, man. He doing this, he doing this, he doing this, he doing this. That's because I never get complacent, because the markets and the industries change. So if life coach one-on-one sessions going down, if events is going down, like I'm seeing, comedians do everything but strip naked on Instagram trying to sell their tickets to their comedy shows, because the average American is strapped for cash. Like, don't nobody got that $60 and then $25, and then if they do, if you got it, you compete in between the live podcast shows. So you got comedy, rap, R&B, gospel, podcast. All of these people is on tour. Stage plays, Broadway, whatever it is, musicals, all these people on tour competing for your dollar. You can't afford to go to every one of them. So you got to pick and choose for your outing, for your recreation, which one you gonna go to. So therefore, now these people being forced to, partner with venues and split the ticket sales, and hey, let us have a venue for free and we'll split the tickets 50-50, or you get 30-40% or whatever, because they can't afford to pay for the venue and then maybe not sell out. And so, boom. That right there, that stuff happening. And so it's getting tough. So you can't just do one thing. Now you got to have multiple things. So if one thing shut down, so it's like this right here. I was touring. A lot of people don't realize, people be like, oh, Tony jealous of such and such because he bigger than him. I earn more money now than when I was doing worldwide tours. I earn more money now sitting at home. I earn 3-4 times more money staying home, being with my family, and working through the internet and never having to leave. People don't realize that. And so why I'm gonna be jealous of somebody that got to be gone every week and can't even be in the house that they money done bought? They got to sleep in hotels every week, be on the road every week to make a living, when I ain't got to go nowhere to make a living. So that don't make no sense. But I saw the pivot because I'm walking with the Lord. So the Lord showed me I need to move my business to online in September of 2019. The world got shut down in March of 2020. And it just was a small, still voice that said, hey, build YouTube. Because I had not built YouTube. I had been on YouTube since 2011, and I was doing 1 to 4 videos a month. Now I do about 7 videos a week. So now I'm doing 25 to 32 videos a month. And from 2011 to 2019, I was doing at the most 4 videos a month. Some months I didn't even do a video. When I did do a video, it would be like 3 at the most, 4 at the most, and a small still voice, which now I know was the Holy Spirit, said, build YouTube. Be home more for your family. Your son getting older, he need to see your face more. You gotta be there to help your wife. He gonna stop listening to her and he gonna listen to you. You got to be home. Don't try to save the world and lose your home. That's what that small still voice, the Holy Spirit, said in my spirit. And I listened. I started doing 2 videos a week, then 3 videos a week. And my YouTube was making $200 a month when I started doing that. And the first time I was consistent with, like, posting weekly, it went to 400. And then it went to 800. And then it went to 1100. And then it might have went to 1500, 1800. I can't remember, but I remember it was probably 1100 or 1500. Then the next month it was like 3300. And then the next month it was, I think, 9900 or 9600. And then the next month it was like 11,100. And then the next month it was 22,000. And I was like, what in the world is going on? What is going on? I was shocked. I'm like, you mean to tell me that YouTube pays like this? And I've been gone on the road 5 days a week to do a tour stop every week, and I may pocket, X amount of dollars per speaking engagement. Like, you probably was averaging, back then, 5K engagement, which is a lot of money. Because if you do 4, that's 20,000 in a month you done made, but you gone. And then now these guys, they ran it up because we're in a new time. When back then, you didn't have like TikTok and all of that, and didn't have like real paid marketing, and wasn't using pixels and retargeting, and then I did mine alone. Like, I didn't use other people and their following to sell tickets as well. I was a one-man show, so my shows, and I didn't do merchandise either. Like, I just didn't like a merchandise table, because I wasn't in it for the money. I was in it for the impact. So the most my shows might make off of, and I would sell $25 tickets, and it'll be like the whole thing. So I would $30,000, and that was with no marketing, no guests, no hosts, no lights, no bells and whistles, no nothing. And I wouldn't pay more than $2,500 for a venue, and so it didn't cost me nothing. So yes, technically I was making more money than they making, because I would turn $2,500 into $30,000. So the return on investment was great, but I was not able to be home, because at that time when I was touring, I was also working in the NBA as a life coach. And so I would be with my team, my NBA team, for 2 to 5 days a week. And then I would fly home for like one night, and then the next day be flying out to my tour stop. So I would be gone some weeks 7 days a week, but on average 4 days a week I was gone. because I was working for the NBA and touring at the same time. And so it was a lot. It was a lot. And it just got tiring. I got drained, and I was missing my wife, missing my son. And she was like at home doing it herself. And that ain't what she signed up for. And so I say that to say, like, everything changes. Like, everything changes. So just like right now, how, some of these tours and podcasts getting canceled, if they hadn't thought about another means of income, another way to make money, it's going to be hard for a little while. It's going to be hard. And that money could drop down, and then everything somebody has acquired, they could lose it all. In a year, you could lose it all. And so that's what you have to realize and understand is, like, stuff ain't easy. And so even when you see this world changing, you got to be 2 steps ahead. Like, you got to be putting things in place. You got to be putting things in motion. You got to take where you at now and what you got now. Oh, wow, they trying to push that Tahoe up on to the curb. I guess they ran out of gas or broke down. The woman in the back pushing the man up front, pushing the steering wheel. Man, she looked like she ain't got nothing but bones on her. Trying to push that Tahoe. I would have stopped, but I was driving too fast. Then they'd be like, hey, can you jump? No, man, I don't know how to jump no car, man. I'm in my son's car. I don't even know where the battery at in here, sir. And sir, I'll be done jump you off, then I'll be walking. What we gonna do? How you gonna reverse jump me? God bless you, man. Keep your head up now. It's a lesson in everything. And at this world changing, so I'm telling you, like, this, he talking about, I heard Trump say out his mouth, because a lot of people don't be listening to stuff. He said we working to reverse everything that Joe Biden, all the messed up stuff Joe Biden did. So he doing all of this. So basically he's saying Joe Biden let all these immigrants in. He letting all these immigrants go free, do their thing. And he got all this funding going out, all this money just going to all these people who is not Caucasian and upper middle class or upper class. We shutting all this down. We getting y'all immigrants up out of here. We cutting all this funding to the poor. We cutting all that. Boom. We getting it up out of here. We not worried about the low level people, the foreigners, the immigrants, and none of that. We done with y'all. That's essentially what's being said. And that's essentially what's being done. And then, you know what? I seen black people. It's just like this guy, he just do this prank channel where he prank black men who come to his gas station. And he was like, who you voting for? And all the black guys saying Trump. And they was saying, like, the foreigners coming over and stealing their jobs. Now you could tell the man who was talking was like a drug addict. It's like, sir, of course they stealing your job. Like, all they do is have them some cerveza on at night. Sir, you snorting powder. Yes, they stealing your job, sir. I'm not hiring you, powderhead. It's like, I don't care if you black. And I don't care where he come from. If he finna come and work and help me build this house in a timely fashion, bump you and your drug addiction, sir. If you come and you bust your butt and you actually shut up and work, stop going to the gas station doing interviews, then you could keep a job. So how you complaining about something and you the problem? You your own problem and you complaining. Ain't nobody stealing your job. They outworking you. They is outworking you. And they gonna do the same thing. They gonna do it better, do it harder and faster. And they gonna do it for less. So, sir, hush. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going back and forth with you, sir. And so this, and I don't even know if these guys actually went and voted, but they may like they was voting, and that they were voting for Trump because people stealing their jobs. And we know these men. We know these men do not want to work. who be hollering about that. They do not want to work. And so this is what we got going on out here. People complaining about nothing. And then now, people actually getting hurt. Like, people boo-hoo, they in tears. You know, they family. They come over here, and it's like, they not coming. It's like, if you ain't got your paperwork and all that, you can't benefit from America. Like, you can't get no welfare and all that because you ain't got no social security number. So, they're not even benefiting. They coming over here to work, to build a dream. It's like, in my opinion, people who come to America, they coming to make America better. Because they coming to work, they coming to build, they helping build the infrastructure. And then they making money, they got to buy groceries, they got to buy gas, so that means they building the country because they spending their hard-earned money. And that's what you got to realize and understand. It's like, but these people feel so threatened. And it's like, yeah, I get it. You know, stuff changing with the interracial dating and all of that. That's becoming more and more popular. Stuff is changing. Yes, your kid's gonna look different. You know, a lot of white girls love black boys. That got these white men up in a frenzy. And if it ain't a black boy, they liking a Hispanic boy. And some of them will marry white, but by the time they marry white, they maybe done had a half black child, or maybe done been with so many black men, and daddy just getting tired of it. So now it's becoming this thing of like this racial thing of like, oh, like they had that picture of the light-skinned boy with the blondish, orangish hair and green eyes with freckles, and it was like, this is what the average American is gonna look like in 50 years, and they've been floating that around for years now. If you are a racist white person, that scares you to death. To think that eventually your daughter or your granddaughter is going to be with a person of color and your last name will no longer be represent white, that's scary. And I've seen these men say this on video, on whatever, on the news, that they want to preserve their race, and it's just becoming too diluted, and they becoming extinct. That white is becoming the minority. But I mean, I don't know what they think they finna solve by deporting 1,200 people a day. It's like, it's still gonna be interracial stuff going on. Like, it's not, and the thing what they saying is, not everybody that they arresting has a criminal record. Like, they're arresting a lot of people who ain't never done nothing wrong, and it's just ridiculous. And then they interviewed the police. He was like, well, yeah, I know it's a lot of tears and a lot of crime, but we got a job to do. And it's just like, it is what it is. Sorry about it. But one of them gonna be going to pick up their own family member one day, though. Somebody in their family, or they friend, dad or uncle or wife or sister, and then it's gonna hit different. They're gonna feel it differently. But chickens coming home to roost, or whatever they call it, it's getting real out here. So you have to become very intentional and be very diligent in your work and what you're doing, and just really like go to grinding, like really get to work, like really make sure you building and doing what you supposed to be doing, so that you can stay afloat. If your job get cut, if your funding get cut, if things start to close in on you, you done went so deep within with your introspection that you still able to come out on top. You still able to make something out of nothing. So think about it. And hey, but it's Tony, guys. I'm at the barbershop, about to get me a cut here in a little while. God bless you. We'll talk soon.